Welcome to Black Family Homeschool Educators and Scholars. My name is Kendra Price, and I will be doing this coffee talk covering online tools to help your homeschool teen be organized and accountable through student led or student directed learning. To share a little bit about myself, my name is Kendra Price. I am a former public school chemistry teacher turned homeschool mom to my four children. I have an 8-year-old, a 10-year-old, a 14-year-old, and a 17-year-old. And today I'm going to share with you some of the tools that have been extremely helpful in my homeschool. If you would like to find out more about my homeschool journey, I invite you to visit my homeschool blog at www.heart4homeschool.com. During this time, we're going to look at time management tools, organizational tools, portable learning apps, and then I'm going to discuss how you can create digital notebooks to help memorialize, guide, and enhance your teens' learning experiences without you having to hold their hand. So first up is a favorite app for the iPhone or your iOS device, and that is the Cozy Family Calendar app. So what is Cozy? Cozy is a family calendar app that allows you, each of your family members who have iOS devices, to be able to look at a common calendar and to share information in terms of important dates, meetings, and events across all of these iOS devices in real time. I love this app. You'll notice here that each family member is color coded. So each family member is color coded. My name is Kendra, and I have a turquoise color. My husband has a yellow color. And my two daughters who have iOS devices are red and purple. And so just from glancing at the agenda for the week, I have an idea of what events are taking place at what time on what day, and it's color coded. So notice that, for instance, I have put on here that my daughter has a physics class from 1:30 to 3 o'clock. I can make that a recurring event, and it is associated with Jacqueline. Down here, I have music lessons, and it applies to the three of us. So we will not only be able to record that this information is pertinent to us, but we will receive reminders to our phones before that time, and that reminder can be set. Another thing that I love about this time management tool is that you can input grocery lists, you can input different little facts. So, for example, I wanted to remember my son's soccer coach's name. I can put on here wish list and all kinds of things. And they also have to-do lists. So Cozy app is just really a spectacular app because each of us can look down, keep track of each other's schedules. And when you have homeschool teens, there's always community service, there's always sporting events, music lessons, and not to mention the things that you as an adult have to keep track of with your own schedule. And so this app allows everyone to remain in sync. This to-do list is also helpful because it can keep things, you can either have a personalized version for yourself and just things that you need to remember, or you can have a synced list that is shared among family members to help you all keep in mind some maybe things that you need to do in the future. So this is a very helpful tool. This app is free. I have used the free version. I continue to use the free version. They do have an upgraded version for $30 for the year, which is quite affordable. But the upgraded version gives you the calendar or monthly view. I typically use the agenda view. But here's the wonderful thing. Even with the free version, this has been a godsend for our family, keeping track of all the different events and important dates and times that we have to manage. So I'm going to move on now to the Trello app. This is an awesome app. So Trello app was originally a project management tool which allowed multiple team members on a project management team to keep track of important dates and to set schedules and project tools or deliverables. But now there are multiple uses for it, and one of those uses is homeschool scheduling. So, keeping track of lesson plans. This is just a snapshot of a lesson plan for one of my daughters. Notice that you can add pictures, you can add colors. Your child is able to let you know when they have completed an assignment. You are able to upload files or links to videos or things that you want your child to look at within a lesson, and it's quite easy to duplicate, for example, a week-long lesson plan and change it for the next week. This is a wonderful tool. It beats having to write out lesson plans each week. The other issue is that with handwritten lesson plans, let's say you have a planner, your child is not able to see those lesson plans unless maybe you print a copy. But this paperless app allows them to not only see what their assignments are each week, but they're able to make comments. You're able to make comments. You're able to make edits in real time. And so it's just another tool that really helps your child to stay organized and accountable. It's paperless. They can glance down at their phone and see what they need to do. You can glance down at your phone and see what they've done. You're able to put input book lists onto this app as well, and input the book cover of the chosen books you want them to read. This is just a really versatile app, and it has really been helpful in having my kids take ownership of their learning and their assignments each week. Specifically, I just wanted to take a snapshot of this just one assignment. So, for example, pre-algebra. Notice that you're able to input the start date. When someone starts on the assignment, you're able to input a due date. You're able to attach files and videos. You're able to input comments. And so again, just having this back and forth and an easy, visible schedule, your child should really never have to question, oh, what am I supposed to do this week? Or did I do this? Or did you complete that? It really takes the guesswork out of lesson planning. And it's so easy to modify the lesson plans on the app that it's not onerous to have to plan for a week or plan for a month. You can zoom through that, and it's a digital file, and it's really a helpful tool. So now I want to switch to organizational tools, helping your child to keep their files and their work and their passwords organized. Dropbox is hands down the best iCloud file saving, file sharing app that I have found. Dropbox is a cloud storage app. You can save your team can save everything from their electronic files like Microsoft Word and PowerPoint and whatnot in the Dropbox, but as well as their passwords for the different other apps and things that they use. They can save their passwords. They can save screenshots. They can upload pictures from their phone. So you have the ability to back up those photos so that your phone memory is not bogged down with a whole bunch of photos and videos, which is important for a lot of teens now who are on social media. The other wonderful thing about the Dropbox app is that it is, again, available across devices. But I want to share with you really quickly my favorite aspect of this device, and that is the shared folders. So if you'll notice, I have a file folder that says shared with mom and other ones. This allows you and your child to have folders in common where you can share or relay information and files back and forth. This is wonderful, especially if you're dealing with an online class. Let's say you have an online class and your child has to write a paper and you want to input edits into Microsoft Word and give those that document back to them, instead of having to worry about email and worry about whether or not the file is too big for an email. You can simply place that file into the shared folder in your Dropbox, and your child, who also has that same shared folder, is able to retrieve the file, see the edits, and go forward. Another feature, as I mentioned ahead of time on the last slide, was the camera uploads. So again, you can set it to where your phone will be automatically backed up so that your memory is not bogged down. Now, in terms of memory, I want to say that you get 1 to 2 gigabytes of memory for free. If you decide to pay for the upgraded version of Dropbox, I should say, then you can get up to 1 terabyte or more of memory. So that is a lot of space. I've never run out of the 1 terabyte of memory, and it's just really a good deal of wonderful iCloud storage app. The other great thing about Dropbox is that, let's say you need to print out files. You need to print out files at Kinko's or UPS. You can access your Dropbox folder at Kinko's and it can print things for you from that Dropbox app. So Dropbox is a really important application and tool to help your team to stay organized, to keep all their files, and help you to be paperless. Another organizational tool, or that's what I put it under, is Adobe Scan. Adobe products are awesome if you are a homeschooling parent or you have a homeschooling child. You can get the Adobe Suite for around $30 per month while they're in school. But if you don't have the Adobe Suite, there is a free app, a free standalone app that allows you to scan papers and assignments and turns them into PDF and JPEG files. And this is important, again. For example, my older 2 daughters, they're homeschool teens. They're taking online classes where they're writing in their notebook or they're handwriting some things, but they have to be able to show their work. Let's say on a test, they have to show that work. They can simply use their phone, take a picture, and it turns it into a PDF and a JPEG. They can access their Dropbox from it, and it's awesome. Again, also, let's say you have you're going on vacation, you're traveling. This app is so helpful because no matter where you go, it's an app on the phone. You can digitize any handwritten document, and it's wonderful. Another organizational tool and a personal favorite of mine is Google Classroom. Google Classroom is a part of Google Suite. It is a application that I love. You can access Google Classroom on your phone, but it allows you to conduct a class entirely online. And so this is not only helpful for you and your team who is studying and learning independent of you, but it is also helpful for homeschool co-ops. If you're teaching an online class to other homeschoolers, this is the platform to use. So here are some of the features that I absolutely love about Google Classroom, but this is by no means an exhaustive list. There are a lot of other features to consider that are wonderful. Some of the features: you can create assignments with due dates. You can track those due dates. Your child can track their due dates for assignments as well on Google Calendar. Your students are able, or your children, when I say, I kind of use those terms interchangeably, but your students can turn in assignments electronically. You can grade them electronically using an Apple Pen and the Google Classroom app if you have an iPad. You are able to record grades within Google Classroom. You can conduct online meetings through Google Meet. And there are a ton of websites such as PBS, Screencastify. There are a number of apps, learning sites, YouTube that are compatible with Google, Quizlet. Um, these apps, these other websites and apps are compatible and can be integrated into Google Classroom. So Google Classroom is an awesome, awesome educational platform. Now, I've just taken some pictures. This is by no means a tutorial on how to use it, but I just want to share with you that notice that you can see who is in the class. You're able to provide them with either a class code or an email to get them into Google Classroom, and you're able to email them directly through Google Classroom. There is a stream page where you can make comments and you can that you instead of having to say the same thing over and over again to, let's say you're doing a homeschool co-op with other teens, you're able to type out your comments once, upload it to the stream here, and it will show up and there everyone can see it. It also gives you the upcoming assignments that are due, so your child can easily track not only from Google Calendar or within the assignment, but they can also check from the front page or the front tab of the Google Classroom what assignments are due. And then also here down below, I've just showed you the next tab, which is actual classwork. You can divide things into units, your class topics into units. You can have general classroom tools or information, and from there your student can access the PDF links or whatnot. Also, they have a list of the topics or units that are covered to organize what they're learning. And then over here, this is a snapshot of just how the assignments are uploaded underneath the topic. They're able to access those documents. They're able to type on the documents or write on the documents electronically, turn them in electronically, and it will record whether or not the assignment has been turned in or not. You can record comments once they turn it in and give them a grade. And then here is a list of the assignments, the student, and then the marked out portion will show their grades. So Google Classroom is an awesome, awesome tool. I have used it for multiple classes, not just with my children. So for my children, I've used it to teach them with the 1619 project, and it was just with us. I've also used it when we've read books and I wanted to give them additional tools, online tools for them to access. And I've taught with it online. So I've used this to teach high school chemistry to other homeschooled teens, and it has been a godsend because I've taught kids that were clear across the country using Google Classroom. So I highly recommend this tool, especially because it is an app. So again, your child can access their assignments and whatever you have assigned them on their iOS device. Now, I'm just going to quickly mention some other resources that will help your child in terms of accessing portable learning. And when I say portable learning, I mean that they can learn or they can study anywhere that they are, whether you're on vacation, whether they're around the house, whether they're away from home or not. So for foreign language, I would recommend Duolingo. It is a free app. Duolingo is awesome. We use this for Spanish. Not only is it a game style app that helps your children to practice Spanish, but there's also a reading comprehension section where they can read and listen to stories in the foreign language. And there's also an excellent podcast. So Duolingo has an excellent podcast in certain languages. The one we use is Spanish, where they get to hear relevant stories from Spanish speaking countries and native speakers about current events. Another awesome app is Quizlet. So this is like portable flashcards. Quizlet is awesome because it can be integrated into Google Classroom. It's an app that allows your child to study vocabulary for a number of subjects anywhere that they have their phone. And the other great thing about this is that this is a app that many others have used, and so you don't have to create everything from scratch in terms of vocabulary. So you'll find Spanish vocabulary, English terms, cooking, all kinds of things. And not only is it just flashcards, but they actually have other game style or multiple choice online test styles for you, for your child to test their understanding of the terms that they study. And then here are three apps that again teaches free classes. Of course, we all know about YouTube. YouTube is just excellent when it comes to tutorials, everything from creative writing to art to math to science to chemistry. Um, it's it's endless. So YouTube has taught my girls a lot. I've learned a lot from YouTube, and again, it's accessible through iOS devices. Another app is Udemy or Udemy. And this is also an app that allows you to either purchase classes, they have a lot of discounted classes. They are always running sales. So some classes that may be $100 at one point, they will drop it down to $10, and your child is able to go through classes of interest, everything from, again, writing, math, science, but to social media, how to create a website, how to do photography, just a plethora of various things that they can learn on Udemy for free or discounted prices. And then also there's Khan Academy. Khan Academy is also another learning app. It is free. Your child can study any of their regular academic subjects. I'm hoping for them to eventually get foreign language and to get creative writing, but for now there's SAT prep classes, there's upper level high school math. So for those homeschool teen parents who are worried about how am I going to teach my child math because I don't know upper level math so well, Khan Academy is a great source, a great first source. They have a number of classes taught by a number of great people on there. Finally, I want to share with you a tool that I have just really loved that helps me. Let's say there's a topic or a subject such as Black history that you're unable to find resources for, or you can't find a curriculum that's satisfactory to you. Google Suites, Google Slides in particular, is a great source to make what I call digital interactive notebooks. And so I'm just showing you some examples here of the digital interactive notebook that I created for my girls to study the 1619 project. And here's what I love about Google Slides. So these slides that I created, I start off in PowerPoint because I love PowerPoint and that was what I was most comfortable with. However, you can do these right in Google Suite, in the Google Slides platform. But what I love about this is that you can create interactive, highly engaging digital notebooks that allows your child to record their thoughts on what they learned, not only in terms of the written format, but also in terms of creating videos that they can embed into Google Slides that you can go back and watch later. So for example, here they can use an application in Google Chrome called Screencastify, and they can record their thoughts about Abraham Lincoln in terms of the 1619 project. In terms of the layout or the design of these slides, Teachers Pay Teachers has a number of slide designs for digital interactive notebooks. A lot of times, what ended up happening with me is that I purchased a set of designs from Teachers Pay Teachers, but then once I kind of had an idea of how they were designed and how they looked, I simply created them myself, or I um, use PowerPoint to create them myself. And so this is the result. But here's the wonderful thing about doing digital interactive notebooks using Google Slides. You can link to websites and to videos that will allow them to read articles. And this in turn is kind of a guided learning. So I'm not having to stand over their shoulder to make sure that they're reading or watching and doing the material, but they are able to access those links and then type what they learn within the Google slide. And so it's self-directed learning. I've done this when it comes to apartheid and learning about what apartheid is, because they had a question on that. We have done it with the 1619 project. Again, I am able to embed videos using Google Slides. And it's just been a wonderful tool that allows them to learn more and allows they can learn more independent of me. And so, while this isn't a tutorial, this is showing you what is possible, and it doesn't take very long. I literally can create the 1619 project slides that I've done in about an hour or a day or two, depending, in my spare time, and they have been able to work through the material themselves, and then come back and have those deeper discussions with me. So I hope that this coffee talk empowers you as a homeschool parent and empowers your teen to take ownership of their learning, that they can learn independent of you, and that they can be organized and they can manage their time wisely. And this is great preparation for college, or if they go out into the workforce, or they're an entrepreneur. So thank you for your time.